Hello, my beautiful followers. Quick update here on the package. Okay, so I'm doing this so you don't have to. Please, if you do not know how to sew, do not do what I just did and open up the back of your Build-A-Bear. Now, the reason why I did this is because after filming the initial review video and explaining their cute little gimmick about the fact that they can hold the paws of other rainbow friends bears with the Velcro paws that they have, I was genuinely concerned that I couldn't smell the scent anywhere, and I squeezed her body as much as I could. I smelled all over her, and to my surprise, it was in the last place I thought to look. It was jammed in the bottom of her foot. It was, hold on, let me grab it real fast. Basically, if I can just angle the camera to where I can properly, show you. It was basically jammed up her foot against, like this, which I had, it was weird. I was feeling the feet earlier and I didn't notice it, but, I'm guessing when they put the scent in, they put the scent in first and then stuffed it later, so, warning about that. And the ear was pressing up against the satin of her foot, and it has distressed the satin of her foot, which there's not really much I can do about, but compared to the other one, it's not really all that noticeable. I'm just saying, buyer beware that if you get a Build-A-Bear and you get it online and you choose the stuffed option and the scent option, they're probably going to put the scent in first. And if you have a bear that has the silk or satin feet, they are liable to get slightly injured if the scent gets shoved down into the foot with the stuffing process, which you have already seen done at the store, my last Build-A-Bear video. But I think the machine at the the processing ordering plant is different. Like, it might be slightly larger, and I don't know, the employees don't pay as good attention to what they're doing. They just shove it in there and put this on the machine and, fill it from the back and then tie it up. And I think the tying method is different as well. It's not like a crosshatch, like how it is at the store, like how you lace up a pair of shoes. These two were together and it was secured in a zigzag pattern and secured at the bottom with a kind of noticeable knot, mind you. And it was not that hard to undo it as well, which I'm a little concerned, because this may be given to a child and, they're going to hug it to death, throw it around, and, treat it as a little companion, because that's what it is, a little stuffed companion, and they're going to be rough with it, and I don't think that knot job that they did with mine would really hold for a child. Over a long period of time, it may end up coming out, and if you decide to do the unthinkable and put a stuffed animal in the washing machine, specifically one of these, not only will its fur get damaged, it'll still look okay, but it'll feel a subpar quality because all faux fur melts in the wash. You might have a chance of your plushie coming undone while it's being washed, and, well, even though this stuffing is high quality, I don't think it's some kind of magical stuffing that stays clumped together when wet, and it'll probably go all over your clothes if you decide to not secure the knot at the end and make sure it's closed if you decide to wash one of these bears in that manner. Now, about the stuffing job itself, I complained that it was a little lightly stuffed, but I guess it was just, the moving around in the package and the displacement of the plush, because after arranging the plush, it's actually very nicely stuffed and dense enough stuffed that it feels nearly identical to the one that I custom stuffed at the Build-A-Bear store itself. So it's very high quality in that regard. So I guess, just be careful and knowledgeable with if you are getting a scent included as well. As you can see, I tried to distress the scent tab itself to try to bring out the scent more possibly, but it's just, I don't know if it's the scent that I chose or they just chose like whatever was at the top of the pile and didn't like dig around for one that smelled a bit more. But this is not very pungent at all. It was super duper light, and it probably attributed to the difficulty that I was having getting this camera to focus. No, trying to find this scent. Now, if I didn't notice it bulging out of the foot of my plushie, and that distinct hardness that I found at the foot of it, which I probably would have noticed if I were to cuddle it later, which I don't think a child would appreciate, feeling something hard in a plushie's foot after getting all cuddly with it. So that's another kind of myth I have. But if it's a big enough bear, it probably wouldn't matter. But I don't know if it's the scent I have or they just didn't smell check it or something. It's too light of a scent. It's not very pungent at all, and that's probably why I had a hard time finding it and repeating myself, because I'm so distressed over it. But it's not that big a deal. I have a mall like 20 or so miles from here that has a Build-A-Bear. I'll just take the order receipt that I got from the package and I'll have her left open like this. They'll probably ask if I want more stuffing, but I think that in that regard it's pretty good. But one thing I did find a little cute, like a cute little coinky dink. You all know from the last video that I personally chose a plaid heart for Naomi because I thought they were just so fetching, but they also, at the Build-A-Bear workshop itself, decided to give me a plaid plush heart just out of pure coincidence. They had no idea that I probably am pretty sure they never seen my video, but yet it's like they're soulmates, like they were legit meant to be. They have the same heart. They're from the same line of plushie, and they were meant to be together. It's fate, and this proves it, because by pure coincidence, they both have the same heart. I'm gonna die. Okay, so now that I've taken it out, the wish that I made online before I had it sent to me, I'm just going to assume it's null and void. Like telling someone your wish after you made a wish on a candle, or holding your breath and walking underneath a bridge tunnel or something like that, or wishing on a star. If you tell someone your wish, then it's null and void. If you take the wish out of the stuffy, it's null and void. So I'm going to make this an open wish. As I put this back into the plush, just make your wish for this new year for absolutely anything, and be careful with what you wish for, because it may come true. So here we go. Get your wishes ready. And I'm putting them back in there. I also made a simple little wish, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. Yeah, there we go. And I'm just going to repackage the scent and take this along with the receipt and the bear to the nearest Build-A-Bear workshop. And then for securing the back, I can do one of two things. I can snip the cords as they are and do a ladder stitch across the back using my own needle and thread, which I have white all-purpose thread for, so I could do. And honestly, since this, if you do it right, you won't be able to use the seam. You could use any kind of color all-purpose, like, what is this? Heavy-duty industrial thread. Yeah, so any kind of all-purpose thread will work. And just a modicum of sewing skills will, do you good. It's just, a simple ladder stitch. You can find many a tutorial on how to do that online. So, I mean, this isn't a tutorial channel anyway, so don't expect that kind of content from me. But basically, as you can see, all you gotta do is, stitch along the line where the holes have already been marked, or if you like a tighter stitch, stitch it even tighter. But I could also take the stitching threads that they already have, the lacing threads, whatever you want to call them, and take an embroidery needle like this, and just either put one or both through the hole and stitch it up, kind of lace it up like a shoe, like how they do at the store, or try to recreate that zigzag double stitch that they did at the workshop for this beer. So yeah, I mean, these are pretty cheap. A pack of these are like $5. $3 to $5 for the really good ones. I would not recommend dollar store needles, but I mean, anything works on a budget. So before I get too frustrated with the camera not wanting to focus at all whatsoever for some weird reason, I'm going to leave that here. Oh wait, now it's trying to focus a little bit. Gotta focus on that cute face. That was just my tiny little extra review on the singular plushie themselves, and not just the initial reaction of the unboxing. It is not wanting to focus today. It's focusing here, but when I do this, it just... Oh, there we go. Well, I'm still trying to... My chicken nuggets are ready! Okay, my, bear is actually pretty well stuffed. The clothing that came with it is pretty high quality. The stuffing job is pretty decent. The tying job could have been a little better. And I'm going to be wary of trying to get it scented in the future, because obviously they don't really put as much thought into scenting the bear as they would at the store. You can't choose where the scent is going to go, number one, and number two, you can't smell how strong it is. So I kind of, if you want to get it scented, I suggest that you order the plush unstuffed and then get it stuffed and scented at the store if you want it scented, to absolutely guarantee that your plushie will be as pungent as desired. Alright, that's enough.